From the Bronc TV and radio studios at UTPA in Edinburgh, it's the Bronc Sports Report. What's happening, Bronc Nation? I'm Daniel Morales. I'm going to be giving you the Bronc Radio Sportscast. This week we have a rundown of Week 1 from the NFL, plus your fantasy football inside report, and all the scores from this past Friday's high school football. But first,
the Lady Bronx volleyball team fell to the Central Arkansas Bear on Saturday at the Sugar Bear Classic at the Pride Center. The Bronx took the early lead in the first set, but the Bears scored 5 straight to take the lead. There were 5 ties in the second set, but Bears took the set by 25-18. UTPA led the third set, but Central Arkansas rallied to tie the set at 5 and pulled away with a 25-21 victory. The Lady Bronx finished the Sugar Bear Classic on a high note, defeating Jackson State, the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff, and the University of Louisiana and Monroe 3-0. For Bronc Radio Sports, I'm Beatriz Ramirez.
On Tuesday, September 8th, the women's volleyball team had their home opener against the University of Warren Incarnate Cardinals and came out victorious. Redshirt freshman Maria Kleefoff led the team with 16 kills to lead the Lady Bronx past the Cardinals 3-2. With a record of 7 wins and 3 losses, the team is off to their best start since 1997. The Lady Bronx take the court again this Friday at the Big Daddy Invitational, hosted by McNeese State. UTPA will be playing in 4 games this weekend. For Bronc Radio Sports, I'm Daniel Morales.
Week 2 of high school football went by with many games, much victory and some losses as well. The scoreboard is as follows. La Jolla Coyotes met at Brownsville Porter and they let the Cowboys have it. The final score was La Jolla 64 and Brownsville Porter 0. PSGA Southwest also met Edinburgh Vela and the Sabercats defended their turf with a score of 35-13. The Economides Jaguars beat the McAllen Memorial Mustangs at their own home. The score was Jaguars 28, Mustangs 21. Mission Veterans traveled to La Jolla Palmview and won with a score of 56-7. The Mercedes Tigers took the win against Hidalgo Pirates with a score of Mercedes 46, Hidalgo 0. PSGA North took a whooping from Ed Couch Elsa with a score of Yellow Jackets 47, PSGA North 3. Rio Hondo met La Jolla Juarez Lincoln at their own turf, defending their land with a final score of 19 Rio Hondo and La Jolla Juarez Lincoln 13. For Bronc Radio Sports, I'm Lola Reina.
Calling all bicycle riders, longboarders, and pedestrians. Next time you are traveling around campus, be aware of where you're going to avoid collisions. Use the crosswalks whenever possible and always look both ways before crossing the street. Remember to stay safe and be alert.
Week 1 of the NFL kicked off with a bang, and here's the results. First up, we got Broncos and Ravens. Manning really got familiar with his new receiving corps, throwing for 7 touchdowns and 462 yards. The Broncos got their revenge and rolled through the reigning Super Bowl champion Ravens 49-27. Next, we have the Patriots and Bills. Pats looking to breeze through the Bills. Brady threw for 288 yards and 2 TDs. The Pats won 23-21 with a go-ahead field goal with 9 seconds remaining. Bengals and Bears, the main story of this game, A.J. Green with 9 receptions for 162 yards and 2 TDs. The Bears pushed through the Bengals 24-21. Lions and Vikings first play from scrimmage for Minnesota. Adrian Peterson takes it 78 yards for the score. Vikings get the highlight, but the Lions win 34-24. Moving on to the Colts and Raiders, luck came up big for the Colts with a fourth quarter score to win the game 21-17. Falcons and Saints, Breeze throws for 357 yards and 2 touchdowns. Falcons were in position to steal the win, but a late interception led to a Saints win 23-17. Jets and Bucks, with a late penalty in the fourth by Tampa Bay, put the Jets in field goal range, and Nick Folk hit a 48-yarder to seal the game 18-17. Titans take the win against the Steelers 16-9. Seahawks push through the Panthers to take the W 12-7. Chiefs control the game against the Jaguars, win 28-2. Dolphins and Browns, Miami wins 23-10. Rams and Cardinals, Carson Palmer looked to be in sync with his receivers, but they fell to the Rams 27-24. Green Bay and San Francisco, Kaepernick threw for 412 yards and 3 TDs, and his new receiver Bolden with 13 receptions, 208 yards and a touchdown. 49ers with a physical game, 34-28. Cowboys and Giants, the main story of this one was 6 New York turnovers. Romo goes 36 for 49 for 263 yards, 2 TDs and a pick. The Cowboys pressed on to win 36-31. The Eagles offense was firing on all cylinders against the Redskins. They ran 53 plays in the first half. The Eagles were up big late, but the Redskins kept pushing for a comeback and couldn't quite finish. The Eagles take the W 33-27. And finally, the Texans and Chargers. The Chargers were up for the majority of the game, but the Texans rallied for a fourth quarter comeback with Schaub throwing for 346 yards and 3 TDs. The Texans hit a 41-yard field goal to win it, 31-28. For Bronc Radio Sports, I'm David Sullivan.
Hello and welcome to the Fantasy Football Minute. I am Javi Guerrero. Andrew Luck is a quarterback I'm confident in this week. Luck is a fantasy superstar in the making. He's averaged a solid 258 passing yards and scored 18 total touchdowns in 9 career home games. Despite the fact that he faced the Niners defense, Packers rookie running back Eddie Lacy still scored a respectable 11.20 fantasy points. This week he's facing a much less formidable run defense as the Redskins allowed the third most fantasy points to running backs in week 1. Deshaun Jackson is flourishing in the new speedy offense of new coach Chip Kelly. Jackson totaled 104 yards and a touchdown against Washington Redskins. Jackson is a strong option against the Chargers in what could be a high-scoring contest. Tight end Jordan Cameron made quite a nice impact in week 1, posting 108 yards and a touchdown against the Miami Dolphins. His success should continue against the Ravens, who allowed 23 total fantasy points against another tight end, Julius Thomas. For Bronc Radio Sports, I'm Javi Guerrero.
Well, that's it for this week's Bronc Report. I would like to thank radio station manager Khadija Sadate, news director Omar Jimenez, and all the radio station staff. And as always, be sure to support your UTPA athletics. Go Bronx!